Hello again, it's Noob, and this is another Southern Specialties lockpick set. This is the 20-piece laminated ripple handle lockpick set. This was kindly lent me by my good friend Pickbeard over from the UK Locksport forum, so thank you Pickbeard for lending me this. And yeah, I reviewed another one of his sets he lent me not so long ago, so please do go check this out, because in the demos I'm going to concentrate on some of the profiles I didn't use in the demos in the last review I did, because there's a bit of an overlap in profiles here. So between this video and that video, hopefully you'll see a really good demonstration of the profiles in use. So yeah, this is the 20-piece laminated ripple handle lockpick set. This differs from the one you can currently buy online. This must be an older configuration. Only buy one pick, and that is this one. The half ball in this set seems to be replaced by a large half diamond in the new set online. Otherwise, these are identical from what I can tell. It also comes with this leather case, which isn't too bad. You know, it's not bad quality leather. It's got some fold outs. It holds all the picks nicely. It's got a zip. I mean, not too much to say about it, but it is actually something which is quite nice. It's quite tactile. It's fine for what you get. Then you get these 20 tools here, and that's split between obviously your turning tools and then a load of picks, which actually come in sort of 3 different types. You get the laminated handles, which are like this, and so these are sandwiched handles. This is made of a tempered stainless steel. So there you go, and they've got that nice ripple on there. Then you get this little double sided tool, and I think that this is slightly thicker. So let's just grab one of these like this and have a look at how thick that is in millimeters. So it's about 0.65 millimeters, which is about 26 thousandths of an inch. And then this one is, oh no, it is the same, just looks a bit different. So yeah, okay, so different. It looks a bit thicker, but in reality it's not. So they're all about 26 thousandths of an inch, something like that. So they're quite robust tools. So that's 2 different types of profile. You get this sandwich ripple, this double-ended tool ripple, and then you get the non-sandwiched picks. And these are clearly going to be cheaper to manufacture. They're not really as comfortable. They're a bit more flexible, as you can see, because they don't have that sandwich handle. But nevertheless, this is what you get. In fact, it's so thin and rippled, it reminds me of one of those knives you can get for cutting potatoes to make the crinkle cut fries, or crinkle cut chips as we call them in the UK. Which makes me think, is it? No, it can't. Oh, we've got to try it. Yeah, do you know what? They didn't cut the potatoes very well, and they didn't leave the ripples I was expecting. So yeah, whilst the chips or fries were excellent, sadly I can't recommend that you use these lockpick handles as a way to achieve crinkle cut chips or fries. Anyway, sorry, back onto the review. What do we get then? Well, we get a big selection of picks and rakes with some duplicates, especially when we go into the non-laminated handles. So we have some half diamonds here, so a large half diamond in the laminated. We get a ball rake for wafer locks in the laminated. We get what appears to be a broken key extractor, but I've tried this on a lock with a broken key in it, and it's just way too big and not sharp enough to dig in at all. Go see the my previous Southern Specialties review to see what I'm talking about, but this is a terrible terrible. A broken key extractor profile. Then we get a sort of classic short hook, and it has to be said that this is a short hook, but the one that comes sort of that double-ended is slightly taller, so you could say it's a short and a medium hook, but the medium hook is in this odd double-ended profile, which a lot of manufacturers do, which I find strange. It's not my preference, but clearly it's quite a good sort of rake pick combo. Maybe it's popular. Then you get this absolutely gigantic postal hook, gonzo hook, super deep hook, whatever you want to say, and it is just so big. It's frankly a bit too big. We'll come on to that when I do a demonstration, but cut to the chase. If you just get a file to that and drop it down to about that depth, you're going to be so much more better off. I'm sure there are locks where this becomes super useful, but since you have two of these profiles, you could definitely file one of them down. These do have a lifetime guarantee, by the way, so be warned, if you start filing down your picks, you're almost certainly going to fall, void that guarantee or warranty. But nevertheless, if you were able to do that and you felt comfortable doing it, I would definitely file that down to a sort of a more shorter, more medium style hook. Then you get this snake rake profile here, which isn't too bad, not very pronounced second peak, but it sort of makes up for it for this excellent profile here, and I'll come on to that a bit later as well. You have a kinetic rake like this. Oh, I'm ruining my display here, look at that. And that's just what it is, kinetic rake, it's fine. One of the best, and I genuinely mean this, best city rake profiles. It's very even, very well done, nice deep cuts and nice difference between the highs and lows, nice even heights here. It's a really good L rake or city rake profile, this one. And then the set lets itself down by this thing. I do not know how to use this. That tip is just too blunt to get past the pins in a lock. It just sort of pushes up against them, and it's really hard to push down the keyway. Maybe I'm just using it wrong, but I've not found a single lock where this gets in comfortably, or once this is in, is useful. I assume it's some kind of kinetic thing for dragging out a lock, because it's so thick here, but again, I just don't know. If somebody knows, let me know in the comments. I probably said the same thing in the last review on the smaller set, so I probably already know the answer if somebody knows, but nevertheless, comment below anyway. Then we get on to the non-sandwich handles, and we do have some different profiles here. So we have a so these are the different ones, which are your double snowman and half ball for wafer locks, and a relatively nice little half diamond, which can be used as a super short hook, because it's a slightly lower profile than this one. So you can see that if you've got a very small keyway, it acts like a little super short hook, which can be very useful. And then we get some duplicates. Now, a lot of sets which are designed for locksmiths do tend to have some duplicate profiles in them, and I think that's because these are usually the most common profiles: short hook, deep hook, although it's way too deep in my opinion, and the kinetic rake. So maybe it's because if you're using one of the sandwich handles, which are more comfortable and you'd use them first, you have a breakage, you're out in the field, you're not going to get a replacement, so you have a couple of sort of backup profiles just in case you do end up fatiguing a pick. All picks break eventually, sadly, no matter how well made they are if they're used enough. So that's sort of all the profiles you get. Like I said, you've got the laminated ones and non-laminated. In terms of general comfort and finish, let's have a look at some of the hooks and rakes here. So the general finish on these handles is really nice. There's no sharp edges at all. It's very smooth, and I kind of like the little rippling here. I tend to index my fingers like either side of those ripples. It's comfortable to me. I like them. These, as you can see, have been sort of used a little bit inside some locks, so you've got a little bit of wear on there, so ignore that. You'll see this hasn't got the same wear, hasn't been used as much. But they do hold up to use very well, just because they are very thick shanked here, so they do put up with a lot of abuse. They're maybe not the best at the really tight, very paracentric European keyways, but for more wide open keyways, these are very robust. If you're in North America where you come across locks with wide open keyways, then clearly these are perfectly good lockpicks. In terms of the general finish, let's have a look at the peaks and stuff here, and you can see that actually it's pretty well tumbled. Maybe a bit of 1500 grit sandpaper around this. Again, thinking try not to avoid your warranty, but maybe some of that would be useful just to give them a bit more of a polish, have less drag and lock. But they're very usable out of the packet as it stands. Then we get some turning tools. So you just get a double-ended turning tool. I like this one a lot actually. One of the twisted tools and a sort of standard one. They all appear to be the same thickness though, which is a bit of a shame because it would be nice to have some variation in the thicknesses, but it's always nice to have a few. And again, worried about voiding the warranty, but you could file these down to taper the tips to give you a bit more range, if again you're willing to do that. Then we have this nice white wrench here for wafer locks. I don't know if I've got one to hand. I can just quickly, yeah, here's one. Show you how that would sort of fit in like this, and tension. So if you had a wafer lock like this, or maybe even an automotive car door lock or something like that, then this would be quite useful. Little wire wrench. It's quite strong as well. So yeah, it's got this little clip to hold it in, which is kind of cute. Right, so that's sort of a rundown of the general build and quality. Yeah, tempers, stainless steel, combination of sandwich and non-sandwich handles. Quite a good finish on them. Comfortable when they're sandwiched, not quite as comfortable when they're not sandwiched, and a bit more flexible. Maybe a bit of clear shrink tube on those would be more useful. But otherwise, quite a nice selection of picks. Let's go do some demonstration picking now. Picking up from the last video, trying to use some different profiles, and yeah, let's get on with the demos. We have a good selection of ball rakes, so let's just choose one of them and rake this very handsome Deco vintage padlock, which is a wafer padlock, so it shouldn't take long to just rake open. If I'm gentle with the ball rake, and there we go. Well, we've got this Batarang style kinetic rake, so we put that into the back of the lock. We lift up the pins and we draw out very rapidly while turning the tension. It's all to do with timing. Ready? There we go. It's a really sort of neat trick, this one. Tends to work on locks with, you know, poor tolerances and stuff. Ready, steady, go. Yeah, it's all to do with timing. So we have this very handsome Federal 90A, and it's got a nice big wide open keyway, but that big wide open keyway is still too shallow for these monster hooks. These are so deep. So we have some other choices here. We have two sort of hooks, a short and slightly more medium hook. It seems to be out of a slightly thicker material. It's that double-ended pick. Because I want to be able to go all the way up the keyway, I'm going to be using the thinner of the two. And there isn't any top of the keyway tension tool, so what we'll have to do is use the Z wrench at the top of the keyway like this, and hope that we don't knock it out as we pick, which means we've got to be very careful with our tension control. So yeah, not an immediately easy lock to pick either. You know, it's got a good little challenge to it, which is makes it a fun pick. That's for sure. Pin 1 there into a bit of a false set. That's 5, 6, 5 again. Just go back through. That was just touch pin 3 there. Pin 2 now. Making sure I don't accidentally push that tension tool out. And now I think we're on to the last pin. I'll find the one that's binding. And we're open. Phew. There we go. Aside from the ball rakes, we don't have many standard pin tumbler rakes. We've got 2 snake rakes. One's that double-sided pick, and I have to say very, very well profiled city rake. But I like this slightly offset snake rake on the double-ended pick because it's got a very pronounced second peak, as you can see, which is really nice, and it's slightly offset. So that's what I'm going to use to try and rake this Master Lock M1 XL or Magnum, depending on which side of the pond you're from. So yeah, let's pop that in and give it a bit of a rake and see if we can't encourage those pins to set. And we've got an open. There we go. So as you can see, in the right sort of open keyways, these are very, very useful, easy to use tools. Actually quite like them in that regard. They're robust, they work really well. They're maybe not the most refined and thinnest profile picks, so they're definitely not, like I said, designed for those paracentric small European keyways, but they are pretty good. They do work in the more wide open keyways, and like I said, they're robust, they have good feedback, they're comfortable when you're using them, less so these handles, to be honest with you. But yeah, overall, pretty good. So let's talk about the pros. So the price isn't too bad for something which is made in the US with a lifetime guarantee. It's $64 US or £54 or thereabouts at the time of filming and exchange rates. So not bad for this kind of set with a case, range of tools, etc. Like I said, the comfort and finish is very good. I think if you were a locksmith, it's quite comforting again to have a couple of spare profiles, especially the ones you're most likely to use or put strain on, like the kinetic rake, which are more likely to break. I think that the general range of profiles is pretty good as well. And there's a couple in here I particularly like, actually, which is this snake rake is really awesome. Very, very nice profile shape. The standard hook is really, really very good. Like I said, a bit thick in terms of Shanghai, but very, very good, nice feedback, nice to use. And I'm particularly taken, I know it sounds silly for those of you who don't really like city rakes, but I'm particularly taken by the city rake profile. So there's a lot of good things about this set. So nice selection, good price, nice finishing, very comfortable, very workable set with some spares. Cons. I've already done a few of the cons on this one already, but clearly having a load of tension tools which are all the same thickness is just strange. Why not just have one of them, like this one, a bit thinner, or taper one of the ends? I mean, you can do it yourself very easily, but just, you know, and I know if you buy a kit, you're probably going to have a load of tension tools anyway, but it just seems like such an easy thing to do. I'm surprised they didn't do it. I think that in other cons, it'd be nice if realistically some of the other profiles, which I wouldn't use as much, like this one, were the non-rippled handles, or not even in the kit, and that some of the profiles which you might use more often, like these ball rakes or this half diamond, were sandwiched instead. In other negatives, this is a really bad broken key extractor, and again, I'm worried about voiding the warranty on it, but I would definitely reprofile that to a small half diamond, because there's definitely enough material to do that. If I overlay it, you'll see that there's definitely enough material in there to make your own small half diamond, and that would take about half a minute with a file to achieve. So not a fan of this one, but the small half diamond is quite nice. You could even make a very short hook out of it if you wanted to. Other cons, which I mentioned before, yeah, these super deep hooks are just so deep. And since you've got two, and again, if you're comfortable doing it, or willing to do it, then you could easily file these down and have a much nicer sort of medium to deep hook. Because as it stands, I found these almost unusable. I just maybe there is a lock out there which it will be perfect for, but in all my collection, I've not found one which any other profile wouldn't do a better job. So there is that. So there's a few cons to the set, but a lot of positives too. Especially, like I said, the price, quality, and country of origin, manufacturer, and the warranty. In terms of things that I'd like to see different about this set, yeah, we could just replace this. Anything would be better than this, and just stick in a medium hook. And again, just replace these massive deep postal hooks with something a bit shorter. Just, take a few millimeters off, a few eighths of an inch off the top, and it would be a lot easier. But yes, yeah, so that was the 20-piece ripple handle set from Southern Specialties. Overall, I actually quite like it. I think if you're looking for a robust beginner's lockpick set, or a good robust set for a locksmith, probably based in North America, then it's actually a pretty good kit. Would I recommend it to a beginner in Europe? Maybe not. I think there are plenty of other choices out there for sort of thinner shanked picks with handles these days. But that being said, if you're in the US, the price is pretty competitive. So yeah, worth checking out, I think. But that's just my thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below what you think of this set. Do you like it? Have you used Southern Specialties before? Do you rate them? Do you not? Do you agree with my review? Do you not? Do you know what the heck this is used for? Because I sure don't. Let me know in the comments. I'll read them all, reply to as many as I can. If you like this video, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to see more videos like this. And of course, I will see you all next time.